Welcome to the Transformational Coach podcast with me, Rona Barton, giving you competence with confidence. This week we have a brand new topic. It's all about moving towards happiness. We're going to cover things such as procrastination, making your own luck, happiness and joy, and as well as handling rejection. This week, however, it's all about procrastination. And believe it or not, I can't believe this is the first thing I'm opening with, but I have been putting off recording this podcast. The best example of procrastination ever, because I had suddenly find myself with a few days off work, and I have gone through and made a list of everything I need to do, including record the next podcast, and I've done everything except record the next podcast. So I'm finally sitting myself down in front of the laptop, in front of the microphone, and just doing it. So here it is, procrastination. I think I'm pretty much the queen of it at the moment. But what is the cost of procrastinating in your life? What does it stop you doing? I do know I am one to like a list, and you guys know this about me, and I hope you've come to accept it. It can be seen as one of my flaws or an asset. I look at it as an asset. I like to know what I have to do, what I would like to achieve, and I break that down to give myself mini goals and deadlines. So the cost of procrastinating in my life has been leaving this podcast to the last minute. But hey, that's usually when lots of my stuff gets done. I do like a tight deadline sometimes. But have you ever considered that when you do procrastinate, when you do put things off, what are you actually avoiding? Or what are you afraid of? I've spoken about this before on the podcast, and that I'm very much one that feels it has to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, I don't really want to put it out there, whatever it might be. But actually, in reality, I just need to get my head down, get on with it, get my thoughts organised, and put it out there. So what are you avoiding when you put stuff off? Is it the fear of being rejected? Is it a concern that it's just not good enough? And what is good enough? Are you happy with it? If you're happy with it, it's good enough. How do you feel when you get difficult things done? And what do you say to yourself once they are complete? Do you actually stop and give yourself a pat on the back and recognise your own achievements? It's something I don't do often enough. I just get on with things, get them done, get to the end of something that's perhaps been difficult, been challenging, and I think, okay, that's another one off the list. What's next? And I really should spend more time considering my achievements, what I've managed to get done, if it was a difficult thing, if it was a tight deadline, if it pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I should appreciate myself more for that. It's one of the things that I am working on. I am a work in progress, as most of us are. So what I'm asking you to do today is to commit, to actually try asking yourself, if I don't do it now, when will I do it instead? How would your life be different if you stopped procrastinating and felt the rush and satisfaction of just doing it? Let me know what you think. Pop a note in the comments below, send me a message, reach out on social media. It's available there for you. I'd be really interested in hearing your feedback on this one. Have you found things any different during lockdown for COVID-19? I've been having a bit of an online and a video conference chat with a friend of mine, Jane, who runs the MSK Therapy and Sports Injury Clinic here in Aberdeen, as well as the training school. And we were having a laugh and a joke about the fact that we both have such long to-do lists that they seem to be never-ending, partly because we seem to never have time to actually sit down and make progress. Well, we've both kind of had the rug pulled out from under our feet during lockdown because we have all the time in the world. Well, all the time in the world as long as COVID lasts. And as long as we're all physically distancing and we're unable to go back to quote unquote normality. So when I checked in with Jane earlier on today, I was really happy to hear the progress that she's made. All the work that she's been putting into the clinic, to the training school, to her own business during this down period. She might not be able to be hands-on with clients, but she is able to offer them some extra support and guidance online through things like virtual consultations. So she meets with the clients online to discuss their needs, and she can offer some advice for them during this time. She's also made massive changes to websites, to social media, to bookings, to the way the school is run, and she's even been prepping for the annual audit. This woman is on top of her game at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen. She's fantastic. And it's made me feel proud of her, but also proud of myself. I see what the list that she's been working through and all the achievements she's made, and it's made me stop and look at my list of things and what I've managed to achieve during this time as well. Okay, it might not be the plans that I had at the start of this year, but I think it's safe to say most of our plans that we made at the start of this year have not necessarily come to fruition. But it has given me the opportunity to reframe some of those plans, to think about them differently, and to ultimately just do it. So what are you going to get on and do today? Let me know. Feel free to share this podcast with your friends and family and others you think may be interested in it. I'm going to leave it there for today. Next week, I'll be back to speak to you about making your own luck. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Bye for now.